And one thing I
Yes,
want
please.
to say.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Now you have a background.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful one. Now I think after the corona, the offices will not for workers. Um, Office is more like a brand showcase.
Mhm.
Like office is indicates the vision of the company.
Ok, ci siamo. Okay, let's admit our very good friend Tsukasa. Okay, here we go.
Ciao.
Ciao Tsukasa. Good morning.
Ciao. Good morning.
Or good evening. Good afternoon in Japan.
Yeah, it's evening. It's 5 p.m.
Cool. How are you? Everything's good?
Everything's good. And you?
Yeah. Yeah, quite good. Quite good.
Is it? Are you in an office?
Yeah. This is the this is a new showroom that we just did, and here and my back there is one of our brand new wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
This is brand new.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And is it light painting now?
Yeah, exactly. So let me give you an idea of what we are doing now. So basically, this is a new podcast that we are doing, a video podcast, where we are basically interviewing several professionals in the interior design or the architectural field from all over the world, so different countries, talking about the situation that we are living right now in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic and how different sectors and different professions are facing this situation. In the meantime, our creative director of Tecnografica, Marco Fontana, will live hand draw in while we talk, basically.
Wow.
And Tsukasa, I just wanted to thank you for accepting our invitation to this initiative. It's really important to me to talk to you as well.
You're welcome, and I'm so happy you invited me as
Me
a
too.
Japanese designer.
And where are you now exactly? Because you told me you're not actually in Tokyo. You are in Japanese island. I'm losing you. Can't hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah, sorry, I lost you for a few seconds.
Yep. Now I'm in Yakushima Island. It's a southwest part of Japan, and it's an isolated island, and it's a very beautiful island. Now I'm ongoing project here. Now I'm designing myself, my house too.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a good moment to design your house, I think.
Yeah, but not only my house. I will talk about it later. And
Cool.
now it's not good connecting, not good connecting internet. So sometimes it's stopping.
No
I'm so
problem.
sorry about it.
No problem at all. The place seems pretty nice. I see this Japanese garden behind you.
Yeah, it's completely natural
Cool.
woods.
So you
Yeah,
are in the Japanese jungle,
yeah.
kind of.
It is a movie titled Princess Mononoke. It's
Hmm?
a Japanese animation movie. Do you know?
Ah, what's the name? What?
Princess.
Sorry, I
Sorry.
lost you. Yeah, I lost you. What was the
Yeah,
name?
Princess Mononoke.
Ah, okay. I don't know. It's
It's
an anime.
animation.
Ah,
Hayao Miyazaki
oh
was
yeah,
directed.
I know him. I know him. Cool.
It's a very beautiful island. Mm.
It seems
It
so.
looks like Hawaii Island.
Yeah,
All and good big mountains and beautiful seas and
seems so.
several. Yeah, it
You know,
feels so nice.
going to Japan is one of my dreams. I've never been, but
Again, you should.
I'd like to.
And I will build here guest house
Oh,
so you can
okay,
stay here.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, got it. Invitation accepted.
After Corona. Yeah. After Corona.
Definitely, definitely. And so, Tsukasa, in order to start this conversation, I'd like you
Mhm.
to give us an introduction of yourself, so to understand
Yep.
what is your profession, what you do, and who you are in terms of your profession.
Yep. I am an architect, but not only architect, I'm designing interior design and also the producing all about space design. So sometimes I hire the designer and I build a team and making one space.
Mm.
I am a director and I'm a producer. So may I talk about my brief biography?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I my first career started from architect's office. So I designed housing and productive houses, and also high school building and subway station. So I did many kinds of buildings. And next I changed my job. I went to the interior design office. I did shop designs.
Ah, okay.
And
Commercial.
after that, yeah, commercial designs. And after that, I moved to a construction company. I did design, but also management of the construction. So I did from start to the end of the construction. It was a really interesting experience for me, talking with carpenter and craftsman, not not as an architect, but a construction manager.
Okay.
So we were flat. So we talk a lot about how to make it. And then I moved to the renovation developer company. I worked for 9 years. I did uh, from I'm planning business planning
Mm-hmm.
and design space, and after I work about management of the building. So for the architect, usually starts from design, and at the end of the work is a completion of the construction. But I experienced before design and after the construction. So and I was not only a designer but also a director and a producer. So now I established my own company, and this is a design company. But uh, I'm I'm a designer, but sometimes I build a team, build a team according to the concept. So I can do many kinds of work, not only one building or one shop, but
I guess that your this experience, especially in the beginning when you had to talk with all the people on site, with carpenters and builders, this gave you a lot of experience in terms of gaining new skills and also using them in your future projects. But how do you work in terms of building a team for a specific project? How do you start? Do you already have some people that you know that you think they will be good for that specific project, or you start from scratch looking for people exactly for that specific project?
it depends it how the project begin. Usually, the clients offer me to design, like please design a school or please design a shop. Then I think the lighting designer or branding producer need to this project. Then I will build a team. But if I can do it everything, I will design
Mm-hmm.
everything. And sometimes I create a project or a business by myself. Then
So it depends projects to project. It's never the same.
yeah, never the same.
You know, I was thinking that it is interesting that you have a real wood behind you, and I have a digital printed wood behind me. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
that now. It's
Connecting.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I was also interested in knowing your point of view in terms of the situation that we are living right now in terms of COVID-19. I know that Japan has been affected, I think, less than other countries because your country has been able to contain the disease and organize yourself in a better way than other countries. But I was wondering if this situation is also affecting your business and your personal projects.
Yeah. Now, it was really tough month. Uh, these 2 months for us. We could not go out. We have to stay home, and many projects were stopped for a while, or postponed for a year or years.
Uh-huh.
So, mm, so it is so changing time for us. Um, I think the construction itself is not stopped.
Mm.
So I continued the project I did, and it's these days it's completed. But from now, the situation will change so much. So I have to change. I have to think about what we need required in this next situation, next Tokyo situation.
Yes, because
Yeah,
you're based in Tokyo usually. Let's say
usually, yeah,
you're within the during the year. Um,
yeah.
a topic that always come up when I interview people from different countries is how this situation will change the way of working for different professions. And I think that the interior design and the architectural field will also be influenced by this. Of course, Japan is one of the most advanced country in the world in terms of technological skills and innovation. Um,
Mm.
so maybe Japan was already used to, for example, work from, I don't know, from home, or using digital technologies in order to connect to other people. Is this something that will change in Japan, or you think that this was something that was already happening in your country and will not be affected that much?
Yeah. Some of the young company like ventures and small size company can adapt this situation easily because they have good technology advanced, but the big company cannot adapt yet. So I think you, I mean, maybe you think Japanese can advance. Japan is advanced about technology, but many people don't adapt this situation. I think so.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Hmm.
Or
Then,
traditional, maybe.
yeah, traditional company cannot adapt. And I think, but this is very good opportunity to change our lifestyle. And for me, I was staying in Yakushima Island for a month in April, but I can check the construction site in Tokyo with a video meeting. I can check uh, the site by the smartphone. Someone is there and I can see and I can advise. And it was really good experience for me. And but yeah, many people in Tokyo was really stressed to stay in office or in a house uh, because if you stay in an office in a house in your house, and if you had an online meeting, the house in Japan usually is very small, narrow. So if you have a family or partner, the partner have to be quiet while
Sure.
you are in on a meeting. If you have a always meeting, the partner have to always quiet, or both have a different meeting.
Then it's a
And
problem.
yeah, it's really problem. But you cannot go out or nowhere to go. So it's the chance to changing the how the lifestyle changing and the shape of the living style living should be changed, like the like a small booth with required for the online meeting, and it's and a cool background like you have
Yeah.
or we have is really, really important. And
So this might be an opportunity also for our wallpaper company to
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
to gain
Mm,
clients in the Japanese market. Um,
yeah.
since you are saying this, it's pretty interesting also to focus a bit more on this topic, which is the smart working topic. because in this last 2-3 months, people have been forced to stay home, so they had to adapt and understand how to work from home. And of course, it's different from country to country, and I understand that in Japan, since maybe how the average houses are pretty small, and maybe also the walls are thinner than in other countries. How do you think the interior design trends will change from this point of view? Which novelties designers and architects and manufacturers can bring to solve this situation?
Mm. So first of all, with in a narrow room, the interior design is really important. Uh, like but usually Japanese people don't stay don't stay home because it's very narrow and dark. Uh, but so the many people don't unconscious about the interior design. But this is the time to start. Everybody will be conscious about interior design. So now the important for us to solve their stress and make their room comfortably. And also, if this situation will continue many months or years, they will move to the other places. More better condition for living and work. So they have uh, one more extra room, and but it's difficult in the center of Tokyo. So they will find the other city, a suburban city, or like me inside the nature. Then I have a chance to coordinate new lifestyle combined with living and work uh, together.
This is very interesting, really, because it's also in terms of the way of work, it will change, and being able to work from a beautiful island as you are now, and being able to coordinate your workers and your collaborators from your place to another city.
Mm.
This will, I
Yeah.
think, change a lot also the way a lot of people will work in the future. And
Mm.
you know, I'm following you on the social media, on different social media, and I see your projects that I really like a lot. And I see that you are working mostly in commercial projects, so maybe doing beautiful restaurants or cafes or buildings. Do you think that also your personal projects will switch maybe also on residential, seeing this new needs of having a nice place to work in the house, basically?
Yeah. Um. Now, right now, no offers about uh, like this Corona situation, but I create myself. So that's why I'm here. I'm designing alternative living place, not only for me, but many friends that we have same sense of living or sense of value. Um, Here, I think that in this emergency, many people think this is really the best way to live in a big city. They, it was difficult to get food in and in an emergency, and if the earthquake or something, typhoon, you cannot get the infrastructure to like stopping the electricity and the water. So you cannot live in the center of the Tokyo by yourself. Mm, you you always need help uh, from the infrastructure and the food and the delivery and logistic, and every system is functions. It's okay, but if something is stopping, you will be die. But here, we have electricity from water power, and always 100 over 100% supplied, and we can get food by myself. So this is mm, good solution to live by myself, by yourself, um, to live here, very rich situation environment.
Yeah.
So if I make the shared living place here, not not the new house, but it's a shared house with Tokyo and this island. And sometimes you want to go to the Milano, then you go back to Milano. So we share many places. We have many alternative living space. So if you can get this environment, you can live anywhere and in any emergency, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
live safe.
definitely.
So now many people maybe want to make this situation, but no one can achieve it. So doing I will do the first project in here.
And
Yeah.
I think it will come out great. And it's also interesting to see how this is also changing the habits of people, as you said. Now, and I believe in the next future will be even more that people will be more willing to. Maybe even not owning a place, but switching from place to place, because now there is a possibility more than ever to work from distances, but being able to coordinate things from far, and achieve your project. I was wondering how is the situation in Japan today, as today is May 20. Are you able now to go out? You already entered a second phase of the lockdown, or how is the situation now
Um,
in Tokyo, for example?
actually, in Tokyo, still lockdown, but not really strict lockdown. Not strict. The government asked the citizens not to not go out, um, and it will be end the end of this month. And now the corona situation emergency is a little bit getting better. So and now in Tokyo, it's really good season, the climate. So many people go out, especially to the park. So in the park, usually um, the risk is very low
Hmm.
uh, to get to receive the coronavirus. So many people go out to the park. So many people were there. I was in Tokyo last week, so I saw that situation. And the other suburb uh, prefectures, like here, the emergency statement is finished. but still they worry about not receive virus. So
So
still here,
it's a less strict
yep,
situation. You are now entering a phase where there is a release of lockdown.
sorry.
There is a release in terms of lockdowns in Japan. So step by step, you will be able to get back to a normality, a new normal, let's say.
Yeah. It's getting normal day, but not yet. In Tokyo, not yet.
Yeah,
Other many prefectures released.
because Tokyo is in the Kanto prefecture, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, I guess that this is one of the where the government is looking more because there's a lot of people there and the capital and a lot of things in terms of industry.
Mm. Mm. How's it in Milano?
You know, we are just entered the second phase, let's say, from May 4th, and actually since 2 days ago, so May 18th, a lot of companies have been able to reopen again, and for the first
Mm.
time after 2 months, also bars and restaurants, they have been
Mm.
able to open again. Of course, is as not as it was before
Mm.
in restaurants and bars, because there's you can only go there for and stay for a few minutes and then go out, or you can pick up your food and then go home, and or
Mm.
if you want to eat there, there will be the tables will be distanced a lot, and people inside the restaurants will be with the masks and gloves. So it's pretty difficult, also because Italy has always been country which in which the tourism was a really strong point in the total economic assets of the country. So this will, I think, affect us a lot, even in the future, and it will take some time to recover. I see now
Mm.
that even in terms of works, for example, of orders, we are starting to step by step
Mm.
coming back to a normal situation, but mm, it will
Mm.
take some time, as you said before, because maybe clients will stop the projects for a year or for a year and a half, or I'm thinking about Italian hotels, for example. If they had a lot of tourists this summer, maybe they thought about mm, renovating the rooms with new wallpaper or with new
Mm.
furniture. But right
Mm.
now, maybe they will not, because most of them will stay closed.
Yeah.
Some of them already failed. They went bankrupt because it was, maybe they were already in a difficult situation, and this uh, definitely cut their legs. So yeah, the situation is slowly coming back to normality, but it will take some time to really get back. And I hope this will not
Mm.
come up and being a financial crisis strong as it was in 2008, for example.
Yeah.
And you know, I was also wondering, maybe just for a minute, not talking about coronavirus, to understand, since that you do really beautiful projects, to understand your way of working, as we said when we started this conversation. For example, can you give us an idea of one of your latest projects? How you, from start to finish, what is your method?
Mm-hmm. Mm. All right, just work. I designed a student dormitory.
Hmm?
It's a new built building. It's completed March of this year. Mm. This time, this was a design direction, so I directed the design, but I always making concept. If no one offer, but I have to think what the space should be, should should form. So I make a design concept and made and invited some professionals like display designer, furniture coordinator, and lighting designer, and sign planning designer, sign graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is 11-story building, and it's have 197 rooms, and also it have 11 different lounge we can use everywhere 24 hours. And the clients want me 11 lounge must be different design, different function. So I think this floor must be the kitchen. This floor must be the Japanese style lounge, and this is like a bar drinking at the night. But it's not a shop, but looks like lounge,
Ah,
but
okay.
looks like yeah. And I made 11 themes and 11 design themes, and I um, directed each theme and coordinate colors and interior design and furniture planner giving submit with the plan, and I totally checked. And I always checking every phase. Is this a, a good good best answer according to the concept, and checking and define and every phase. And finally, I checked the finished last March.
So
And
just before the beginning of the pandemic,
yep, yep.
you finished.
Yeah, actually, the compression is finished. Compression is before coronavirus, but many students from abroad, from overseas,
Uh-huh.
are cancelled because the Japanese government denied the visa
The
of
visa.
the students. Yeah, so they cannot come to Japan. They abandoned to
Oh,
come this year. It was so sad about that.
oh yeah.
And the Japanese students start to living now.
Okay. So now they
Yeah,
are now the national students are entering the new dorm that you designed.
yeah.
You know, so it's pretty interesting because our community is composed by a lot of professionals, interior designers and architects from all over the countries, and is very interesting, and also from a learning point of view important for me and also for them to understand how you work and what is your method, and in creating different teams that you coordinate in order to create the final project. It's definitely I think a very good way to achieve important projects. And I guess that with the very coordinated Japanese methods, you are able to achieve important projects. Um, one other thing that I was wondering, what was your opinion about, um, is how do you think the digital technologies, and especially the digital revolution in terms of social media, or how now manufacturers, professionals are advertising their work and their profession will change after this situation? And how is the situation in Japan from this point of view?
The digital revolution in Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, AI is, I think it's improving in Japan, like driving technology and like Google's uh, smart speaker or something. Many companies doing AI
Uh-huh.
technology,
Yeah. Artificial intelligence.
artificial intelligence. I'm expecting about that. Now, my in my opinion, I was always moving before Corona, but now I still don't work at my office. So I always need information from internet. But um, right, for example, I don't bring heavy catalogs
Uh-huh.
and heavy samples here, but I have to looking for look for the materials and I have to check it. But now it's really difficult to check the web catalog,
Mm.
uh, mm, and it is very heavy and to see all pages. Uh,
Even online, you're saying?
yeah, in online, so the web catalog usually have much pages,
Yeah.
many pages, and if I want to look for one tile, one mosaic tile, you have to see
Check all the yeah.
all the pages and several makers. It is so tough. So I if AI is more improving, then it will look for more easily. They they know my needs and they can offer to me.
Directly
Mm.
sending you what you need even before you ask them, thanks
And
to
also,
algorithm.
yeah, and also I want to check the real color, real material, real surface, and real brightness of the site. If I can check it in a digital way, then I don't have to visit the site often. If um, if I was in Tokyo and uh, I can visit the site in Tokyo many times, but now I'm in the island, so it's difficult. But if I if I check it by online,
Hmm.
um, uh, I can it's relief the where I should stay, where I should live. Mm. I can I want to stay here because it's good environment and food is good and
Birds singing.
yeah, bird
Yeah.
singing and good friends is here too. But if the everything is site specific about around the architecture work and interior work, I have to stay nearby the site.
Mm.
So and I stuck here. I stuck there. But if that evolution is improving, then you can choose where you should be, you should stay, you should live,
Yeah.
and
And
how to spend the time.
be able to work as if you were in that place, even if you're not.
Yeah.
Because this is something that the changes of the habits of professionals will also affect how manufacturers like us, for example, will decide how to move in the next month and years. Just to giving you an example,
Mm.
we are now preparing the new 2021 catalogs for
Uh-huh.
both our wallpaper and decorative panels line,
Mm-hmm.
and we are now deciding what we will do. Are we going to do 10,000 catalogs as we did always in the past? So of course it's an investment for us. There's a lot of money going on because it's a lot of books, and if you want to print it in the right way, you have to work with a very good supplier if you want that your design come up in a good light, in a good graphic. Or we decide only to work with digital catalogs, or only maybe putting our new designs online on our website. And these are decisions that now are very difficult to do because it's a very changing time, and but these are decisions that will help us maybe to save a lot of money from one hand, and being able to provide to professionals with the same quality in terms of catalogs that we had if we printed them. So
Mm.
it's difficult even for manufacturers to decide how to move. And I think the new habits of professionals like you will influence how manufacturers will decide to work in the next month and years.
Mm.
Because
Yes. Mm.
everything seem to be very straight 3 months
Mm.
ago. We have to do the catalogs. Okay, let's do the catalogs. Let's print them. Let's provide them to all the professions we work with. But now it's different. Now, as you said, people are staying maybe home, or they're staying in beautiful highlands, but then they are working also in Tokyo or in Osaka or in another Japanese city, and uh,
Mm.
and so being able to provide them with digital materials and not hard copy materials, very heavy to bring and to dispatch. This is something that I think will change a lot in the next month, and let's see what happened.
Yeah.
Also based on your decision as well, on how you
Mhm.
will change your habits and other professionals.
Yeah. Yeah. Most big changes myself.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Me too in the last month.
Mm.
Tsukasa, it was really a pleasure to talk with you. I don't want to keep you 2 hours straight in this conversation, even if I'd like to, but we have a limited time. So
Mm.
thanks so much for being able
Uh,
to do
yeah.
this conversation with us.
And one thing I
Yes,
want to
please.
say,
Yes, please.
yeah, yeah. Now you have a background,
Yeah.
very, very beautiful one. Now I think after the Corona, the offices will not for workers. Um, Office is more like a brand showcase.
Mhm.
Like office is indicates the vision of the company. Mm. Before
Phil-
Corona,
the
both,
philosophy of the company.
yeah, philosophy, yeah. Before Corona, both philosophy and the very, very functional workspace. But functional workspace will uh, disappear because many people don't have to visit commute the office because it's more easier to work at the home or their workspace there at home. Then I designed last year uh, the ventures company office,
Mm.
and they offer me not this office is not for workers. It's or everything is for presentation to
Okay.
the guest.
So
Or
it's like a display.
yeah, it's like
Okay.
a display. I think and they provide the office picture I designed as a Zoom background.
Okay.
Yeah,
As I
so
did now, as I did today.
yeah, so I think that this is maybe popular way. Uh, the the office will be a more high spec like a showroom, and not on in center of Tokyo because it's really expensive. The before Corona, the convenience is very important, and the how it's located is really important. But after Corona, if you an organic pro deal with an organic product, you don't have to uh, have an office in Tokyo. Um, more more like a suburb
Hmm.
city. You can see the forest and sea. It's it's it indicates a philosophy of the company, and no one work here. It's just a
A display.
display.
And this is also interesting in terms of saving money in the rent of the office, because I guess that if you rent an office in the city center of Tokyo, is different than renting in the suburbs or another place.
Yeah,
But then
yeah,
if you need this only as a background for your Zoom or Skype conversation, and uh, that's a very interesting concept to think about.
thank you so much.
Yeah, really. And
Yeah,
hope I think this will also will also help the companies that are working with graphic products like very graphic furnitures or the decorative materials. So there will be maybe an explosion from this point of view in terms of graphic materials and design materials that will be used even in offices, in office projects.
mm.
Nice. I'll think about this. You gave me something to think about. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now,
Someday I want to use in Japan.
yeah, we'll do.
uh,
In the meantime,
because
Marco is designing a Japanese horse, which is using very long sticks for eating sushi, I
Japanese
guess.
what?
B- uh,
Japanese what?
a bear, a Japanese bear.
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know if there are bears in Japan.
yeah, on sushi, right?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, drawing is so interesting.
Yeah, a very interesting conversation, really, especially because Japanese culture is so let's say exotic and different from the European one, and it's
Yeah, yeah.
always very interesting to understand more about your culture and your country. At least from my point of view, I really appreciate that. Tsukasa, thanks so much again, and I hope to see you
Come on.
soon in Milan, maybe next year, or in
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah.
Definitely,
Come to Japan.
will do. Cheers.
Yeah,
Thanks so much again. We'll see you very
yeah,
soon.
yeah. Thank you so much too.
Ciao.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.